Hey everyone, it's Trina Belcik from Passion for Keto. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing and click the bell so you're notified of all new keto topics. I'll be posting tons of tips and tricks for the ketogenic, low-carb, high-fat lifestyle. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my weight loss journey and how I lost over 40 pounds in 4 months. Now, weight loss is a challenge a lot of us face every day, and if you're anything like me, you've tried a lot of different diets and even tried adding exercise in, none of which seem to work long-term. Over the years, I ate my feelings, which seemed like the logical thing to do, and always made me feel better for the 15 to 20 minutes it took for me to eat whatever food I was shoveling down at the time. For over 20 years, my husband and I dealt with infertility. I was a mess emotionally, and I continued to eat my feelings and sorrows. My relationship with food was out of control, and the pounds just kept creeping on. I've tried a lot of different diets and would lose a few pounds here and there, and spent hours exercising, but as soon as I would slack with the exercise, the weight would come right back on, and I would get more and more depressed, pushing me right back into the arms of food. In 2010, my husband and I visited our second infertility doctor and decided to try in vitro fertilization. The cost alone was depressing, and of course I used it as an excuse to eat more junk. But during our consultation with the fertility specialist, she pointed out the importance of staying away from carbs and how it affected the body's hormone and reproductive system. If only I had paid more attention back then. We went through the IVF process 3 times. The first IVF attempt was not successful, and we froze the remaining embryos for future attempts. About a year later, we tried again. After attempt number 2, I got the call that said my beta-HCG, that's the pregnancy hormone, indicated that I was pregnant, but the number wasn't what they expected it to be. And at 6 weeks pregnant, they couldn't find a heartbeat. I miscarried 2 weeks later. I was absolutely devastated. I didn't feel like I could go through that again, so we decided to keep the remaining embryos frozen, and each year we continued to pay for storage, and I continued to eat and gain weight. 5 years later, the year I was to turn 40, my husband and I had the hard conversation about what we were going to do with the remaining embryos. We decided to give it one final try. God willing, it was going to be his decision on the outcome. We made the appointment with the infertility clinic for one final attempt, and again the doctor had the same conversation with me about diet and avoiding carbs. This time I cut way down the amount of carbs I was eating, but did not eliminate them completely. Transfer day finally came, and they thawed all 4 remaining embryos, 2 of which were considered viable. Both were inserted for one final attempt, and now we had to wait 9 days for the results, and that seemed like it took forever. All I wanted to do was eat. Food is not my friend when it comes to stress. The wait was over, and the phone rang the morning of February 4th, 2015. I'll never forget that conversation. And when I answered the phone, the doctor started with, "Congratulations." I immediately started to cry. I was in shock. Really? We were pregnant? The numbers looked good this time around. We were so excited. God had provided us with this miracle. Life is too short, and we are so thankful every day for what God has given us. Throughout the pregnancy, I cut way down on carbs, but I was so sick the entire pregnancy. It was very hard to actually eat healthy foods and to keep the healthy foods down. The only thing that seemed to work was greasy, fried, unhealthy foods. I know it sounds really strange, but it's actually what worked. However, I also developed gestational diabetes, which didn't help matters, and I just kept putting on the weight. There were actually a few additional complications with the delivery, and I had an unplanned C-section. We are so very blessed for our miracle baby, and thank God every day for his love and what he has sacrificed and provided us. When the doctor came in my room the following day, she says, "You definitely had somebody looking out for you for sure." God is good, and we have a healthy baby boy. I was the heaviest I'd ever been, and over the next year, I tried to cut down on calories, added in exercise. Nothing seemed to work. I always went back to my old eating habits. It wasn't until I had a health screening at work, where they take your weight and your blood work, and they test your sugar and your cholesterol, that I actually got the wake-up call that I needed. Needless to say, I was considered obese, my cholesterol was elevated, my sugar was borderline, I felt like crap, I looked like crap, and I knew I needed to do something to lose weight and improve my overall health. I wanted to be around for my son and my family. Because of my results and being obese, I was mandated to enroll in a weight loss seminar at work. I tried to count calories and follow their suggestions, but I only lost 10 pounds. It was so frustrating. Needless to say, I gained those 10 pounds plus some additional weight back. It wasn't until this year that I decided to take charge and get my health and my life back on track. I'd heard a lot about the keto diet and how it was changing lives. I did some research online and watched a lot of YouTube videos just like this one. How is it impossible that everything I was told about diet and fat could be wrong, and the truth is that fat doesn't make you fat? The answer I found was that combining the right amount of healthy fats, proteins, and carbs actually helped you lose fat, helped you lose weight. I was going to give it a shot. I had nothing to lose. In April of this year, I started living the ketogenic lifestyle, and I was determined to make a positive change in my life. All of April and the beginning of May, I followed keto, strict keto, and I lost 15 pounds in 6 weeks. Wow. I wasn't going to stop there though. Not only was I losing weight, but I was feeling so much better. From April 1st through July 31st, I continued to eat keto and incorporated exogenous ketones, which helped increase my energy level, decrease bloat, put me in a much better mood, decrease my brain fog, and improve my mental clarity. I'm living casual keto lifestyle and have lost 40 pounds so far and keeping it off. I'm a believer that adding good, healthy fats to my diet has impacted those results and my overall health. I feel amazing. The keto diet has helped me lose over 40 pounds so far, as well as improve my overall health. I'm very blessed, and the keto diet has changed my life. I'm hoping to help others by sharing my journey and information about the keto diet. I have a private Facebook group called Passion for Keto, where we share recipes and provide support to those following a casual ketogenic lifestyle. I'll pop a link below so that you can join our amazing community. Thanks for listening, and please consider subscribing. Take care, and I'll talk to you again real soon.